What's up, guys? This is Alex. This is kind of a weekly series I want to be starting over here on COD Ops, basically trying to dissect and improve 2Bucks' gameplay. 2Bucks is a Halo player, and he's very good at Halo, but the transition for moving from Halo to Call of Duty is difficult, and a lot of the skill sets that you earn in Halo don't apply. So we want to try to help him out as much as possible, and hopefully see his progression if he follows the tips I give him. And first things first, he chooses an opening route. Everybody has to have their opening routes, and his works for him. He got a kill with that grenade, but what he did wrong is he moved up right in the middle of their spawn and paid the price by dying, which is obviously not a very smart decision. Now at this point, he realizes his team is losing C, and he tries to defend it, but unfortunately the guy capped it, and he notices he has a couple teammates already going for the flag, so he decides to move on. Now this spot that he gets into right here is not very good, and it is good for defending B if the enemy team is rushing it religiously, but these guys that he's playing against don't seem to care about the objective that much, and you'll see he pays the price by dying by some douchebag with an RPG. Once he spawns back in, he does something a little bit stupid. He rushes straight into the enemy spawn. In Domination, there's an imaginary line between your spawn and the enemy spawn. And in the case of Cracked, that street that he's standing on right now is the line you should never pass. And as you see, most of his teammates are pushing up into A. And at this point, he should be expecting them to spawn at C. And as we look here on the overhead, his teammates are kind of pushing up into the enemy flag at A. And the enemy is, of course, spawning at C. So this is kind of something you should always keep in the back of your head. He tries to continue the streak, but unfortunately he's unsuccessful. I think some guy ends up shooting him in the back. Nothing really he could have done there to improve, but he gets an absolute garbage spawn. He spawns right at C, right where we were expecting the enemy to spawn. And you'll see just a little bit he gets in a bit of a sticky situation. And he comes behind this guy and stabs him in the back because he's not paying attention. And I think he plays this part pretty well. Now there's two choices here. Either get the hell out, or just wait it out until you find out where the enemy's spawning, until your teammate gets a UAV, or something of the sort that could help you survive. Now he notices his teammate is kind of gets blown up here, and he tries to hold down this building as best as possible. The only suggestion I have is kind of staying away from the windows as much as possible, making yourself a harder target to hit. And I think at this point the enemy is aware that he's there, and he makes the perfect decision to just book it and get out. So notice how many bullets he has. He's using extended mags on the AUG, which is an absolute fantastic weapon, and he loves this gun. I know he has a lot of kills with it. But look at this. He has 40 bullets in the weapon, and he keeps spraying at this guy, and he wastes all of his ammo. This is a very poor decision because you want to try to conserve your ammo as much as possible. You know, it's always going to benefit you no matter what. If you're not using scavenger or dual mags, you want to try to burst fire all the time. But luckily, his buddy D-Ranker kills himself and donates his weapon, his silenced AUG. And I guess he's kind of lucky that he has a good friend on the team to help him out. And at this point, he gets in this building and tries to hold it down to get his Blackbird and his Chopper Gunner and his later kill streaks. The only thing that I have, a piece of advice I suppose, is he's making himself a very easy target to hit at this point. He's standing in one spot on a window that's basically framing him. And believe it or not, he's saying, "Hey guys, I'm right here, try to kill me." And at this point, you want to try to crouch. You see him do that. Crouch and strafe, maybe move back and forth, side to side. And I would not suggest staying here for a long periods of time, especially since the AUG is not... I mean, the AUG is a good long-range weapon, but you don't want to pick fights that are just not going to work out for you as well. I skipped a little bit of this gameplay because he's kind of desperately looking for kills. But he makes his way around the map to this spot. And he's trying to build his kill streak, but he does something a little bit stupid. And he faces his back right towards the enemy flag. And that's something you never want to do. You always want to expect the enemies to be right behind you, even if they're not, because they could just walk behind you and stab you. and there's absolutely nothing you can do. So you always want to be aware and check your sides. He does end up getting a kill from it, but you'll see it doesn't help him out in the long run. And he continues his little streak here, but unfortunately he runs out of ammo with the AUG, and he picks a fight long range with the CZ75, and unfortunately is punished for it. We're gonna skip the chopper gunner because it was shot down rather quickly, and I don't think there's much tips I can I can give him for the chopper gunner, other than I guess shoot stationary targets, because those are gonna be the guys that try to shoot you down more often. But at this point, I imagine he's a little bit frustrated. He just missed his dogs or his gunship, whatever. Third kill streak, he was running by one, and he kind of makes some poor decisions, so I kind of skip over those. They're not very important, and I don't think you guys can learn from them necessarily. But other than that, I think that streak that he had going was very good. Until the point where he rushed with no ammo in his AUG and tried to desperately gain his last couple kills. But he's trying to build the streak back up again, and something he keeps doing. Oh, watch this. Man, this game confuses me sometimes. But something he keeps doing is rushing their spawn over and over and over. And I know that's kind of human nature when you're frustrated to try to get as many kills as possible and try to just continue on, but you want to try to slow down, and if you've been killed, if you're frustrated, you want to slow down your gameplay, and I think that will pay off more than rushing like this. At this point in the game, I imagine he's rather frustrated. I mean, I think I would be screaming if I missed my dogs by one, but he still tries to persevere, and as gay as that may sound, and try to get as many kills as possible. And look at what he does. He kills this one guy, and he does a Superman move right into the middle of the map. And I don't know what he's looking for here. I think he might have heard like a UAV, or he's looking for enemies, but he got lucky that he wasn't killed then on the spot. But standing in the map, in the middle of the map, especially like that, looking up into the air, not the best decision. And so, like I said, you want to... Oh, at this point, his team is being dominated, and when your team is being dominated, the spawns are random. So you want to try to establish kind of a spawn point for your team. As you see, he sees his teammate here is capping a flag, and he tries to help him out, but unfortunately he doesn't succeed. And this is kind of one of those another sticky situations where he gets kind of overrun and he dies, unfortunately, but he goes back to the same spot and tries to pick up a couple of other kills before the game ends. So he's here he is rushing again with his Almighty AUG, and I think his team is trying to build some map control and capture a lot of the flags. You see they capped B, and they were able to get out of that dominating spawn trap that they were in. And at this point he plays it off pretty smart. He sees there's enemies all around him, and he tries to be aware of his surroundings as well as possible. If you look on the mini-map, he realizes all of the enemy team is spawning right in front of him, so he kind of plays it off as carefully as possible. He has Hacker on, so he can see kind of suggestions of where enemies are. If you see something like a Claymore or a Jammer through a wall with Hacker, then you can kind of expect there to be a guy, because not a lot of people just randomly put a Claymore and leave. So yeah, like I said, at this point he's kind of holding down this area. And here he is right in their spawn again. Now watch this. Silly $2. What are you doing? Now I don't know if he just didn't realize that that was an enemy Claymore, or just kind of in the game type of deal, but I thought that was pretty funny. And I don't know, not really much he could have done there, but I guess try to be aware of Claymores. But yeah, he finishes the game with 33 and 10. I think that's a 3.3 KD. Overall, the only suggestions I have for you, $2, are try not to rush as blindly as you do, and hopefully next time we'll see you capture more flags. So guys, feel free to leave me your suggestions on how I can improve this series, possibly even give $2 some tips yourself. So if you enjoyed this, please leave a like, and feel free to come check out my channel as well. Thanks, and I'll see you guys later.